Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our journey in discovering just a little bit more about this ancient, amazing language. Yesterday, we talked about 偏安一隅as feel rested or place your home or your heart, your peace of mind coming from this an at a corner, at the tip of a faraway place. Even if there's no far away talked about, but this character, this corner, it means it's not a center, it's at a, the edge of, the world. 负隅顽抗 is today's expression, and we have this corner concept again. So just to repeat what corner here means, made up of this land, vertically high-rising land structure, which is more like a cliff. It's hard to climb up, straight up. So that's something related to the land, right? And then on the right side is the sound maker. But the sound maker means a type of monkey that has a tail over there. And I explain it as this is field, because that's a space and cut in quarters, right? And then this is another kind of a space indicator. And then we have this the tail, the monkey tail, see it as if it's turning of a corner. So the whole concept means this is a far away place because, with the mountain and high, it's not a flat area, right? So that's less likely to be inhabited by people, by large population, because the landscaping just don't support that well. And this is a turning of a corner of the land. And according to ancient Chinese imagination, the land is square, it's flat, basically flat earth theory, Chinese version. It's flat, right? So it's one big piece of rectangle or square. So this corner is almost like, the edge, the very tip. It's far away from the center. So that way, even if we didn't talk about far away, simply because it's a turning point, it's a corner of where the land or living space for that world, that this is a far away place. So that's our corner meaning. And then we have fu. We have this person symbol. Again, we have this symmetrical, almost like Eiffel Tower looking human figure. But sometimes in ancient Chinese, we also render it with one side as longer and wrapping over the other one. So that's another way to render this as a human figure. And we have a human figure on the top, and we have this seashell sign over there. So seashell was used as a kind of a currency because it's portable and probably lasts pretty long. And it's probably kind of, controlled production. So there's limited number, so the value can be kind of stable. And the seashell is simply a visual representation of this is the shell, and these are the patterns on the shell, and these are the soft body from the whoever is living within that shell. So this whole thing is like somebody, people, right, person holding the shell. So from that people holding basically money, right? Someone has currency, this concept, and then we extract the holding over there. So this is basically like somebody who has the resources, the power to put in their money in something, right? So this in contemporary Chinese means somebody, means like you can take the responsibility of something. So this eventually extends to more, contemporary living appropriate meanings. And in this context, the fu yu means you're holding on to that corner. You're not giving it up. You're as if this is, you're invested in it. You're so responsible for it that you have to hold it, hold on to it, right? 顽抗. So I translate it as die hard. Die hard is a pretty English slang, concept, right? It's somebody who will not refuse to surrender to the new trend, new ideas, or new power. However, that's die hard essentially. And Chinese, we have this left and right structure. The left side is a human figure with 2 legs at the bottom. And here, the horizontal line simply means the indication of the, the head area, right? Above your torso, below is your leg, and then above your torso, this is the head portion. And then have another horizontal line on top of that. It's another indicator. It's the head pointing to the beginning of that person, which is the head from top down, right? So that's the head. And the right side is another elaborate way to say head again. So this is a human figure, kind of looking like this, right? One shorter, one longer side, but it's legs basically. And then the top portion is a kind of a zoom up, blow up view. So it's not in proportional to this, but this is a blow up view of the nose of that person. So this is kind of like a nose brace. And this is, the major face structure. So this means we use the center of the nose because, the nose is the center of the face to refer the whole face. So one portion, the regional, to represent the whole. That's a common way for Chinese to jump from one meaning to extended, bigger scoped meaning, but it's somewhat related, right? And this blow up view of nose to represent the whole head, and on top of this legs, that simply means emphasizing it's on the head. And imagine the camera moving to that person and zoom in to the head view. So that's kind of Chinese character representation of that. So we have this head on the left, more abstract, just horizontal line, mean head. And the right side, more concrete visual representation of a nose bridge and 2 nostrils over there. The head, another way of just a head. So 2 heads add up together. And I can only imagine that means somebody is really headstrong. They are, following their head, their own idea or whatever put in their head. So they cannot pivot, they cannot change, they cannot adapt to the new situation, cannot gauge, evaluate, the risks or whatever, but they stick with what's already put in their head. So that's the kind of die hard. We call it 1. And Kang, we have the left side, the hand symbol, which is 5-finger hand symbol, kind of look like this, right? And then the right side is a sound maker, sound like a Kang. Yeah, I think it's Kang as well. So a sound maker. We have a slew of words that has share this sound maker and just switch out the meaning maker on the left side. But here I try to interpret not only it's the sound, but also it has this meaning of this portion and with this shape, kind of a zoom up view again to show that person's collarbone. So this is a person without the leg portion. It's a upper torso, kind of like a bust view, close up here. And this probably is a even further zoom up to show like what's over there. So it's upper body and the collarbone, close by area. And with the hand is simply a representation of muscle power, right? Because hands are mostly what's used back then to do things. So with the hand, with this zoom up view of this collarbone area, that means you're actually holding something on your shoulder. So you're soldering something. And in the context, die hard, this soldering is actually defending. So you're not letting it down. You're not letting go of the load on your shoulder. You keep defending it. You keep the position. So 负隅顽抗 together means you're holding on to that small corner, small tip of place, probably geographically or militarily important position. And you die hard. You're not, you defend it with your life, basically. So I show a picture over here because I kind of, this is a pretty abstract concept, 负隅顽抗. And what the internet said, I searched up this 1955 in June. Female college students, Japanese, back then when, even if Japan already surrendered, announced it to the world, but they still held on to the idea that they're still fighting for the country or from fight for the Japanese emperor back then. So they were females, educated females, were trained back then to become fighters. So that's the context of how this phrase was used, 负隅顽抗, because it's Chinese language. In Chinese contemporary language context, Japanese was the invader, was, made Chinese people and the land suffer for decades. And so in how many years? 80 or 90 years later, that, it was traumatized and it was brought up a lot, still talked about. So that kind of a resentment toward the previous invader. So when the media, whoever wrote the article, was describing this instance of Japanese still resisting, even if they already surrendered from the higher up, we use this 负隅顽抗. So it's a kind of from the perspective of negative meaning putting on there, like you are really sacrificing your life just to defend this small area and kind of a doomed situation. Like there's no way you can defend that. So that's what's used as 负隅顽抗 in that context. And I just Google translate how to translate this. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but recalcitrant, that's the corresponding concept in English. That's resisting till you die and only to defend small land. All right, cash into the currency of thinking about one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.